Hey there, this is Julie Stone from formerly liftyourvoice.net. I've made a change. So now I am going to be coming at you from sopranosjam.com. So I am Soprano Jam, actually. I have been using that name on my email since the beginning of time. Actually, it was my very first email address in college. But anyway, I did change my website, and I am working on some training videos, and actually most recently am just about ready to launch a new free email course called Expand Your Range by an Octave, and I'm really excited to share that with you. I think that it will be, at least I hope it will be something that is really able, that people who have no training or no background in voice, that it can still even make sense to you. So I'm here today. I'm going to be real quick in my kitchen. Not going to lie, I have been wanting to do some Facebook Lives and have a list of things that I want to share with you, but I'm always waiting for that perfect moment, and it just never seems to come my way. It just totally eludes me. So here I am standing in my kitchen getting ready to make some dinner for my family. I'll probably have a kid or two running through the door here any second, but we're just gonna roll with it because guess what? This is my life, this is my life, and I'm a busy mom of 4 and a voice teacher, so of other things going on in my life other than just shooting perfect videos. Surprise. So today I just wanted to talk to you and encourage you actually in something that I think that is a big hang up for most people, especially people who have never trained their voices before. And that is that we tend to listen to ourselves sing. And it seems kind of paradoxical, right? To think of not listening to ourselves. And there is a time and place for that, and obviously you can't stop yourself from hearing yourself sing. But when we rely totally on listening to ourselves sing, we do ourselves a disservice, because guess what? At the same time that you hear yourself sing, I can hear you sing, and anybody else who's in the room or around you can hear you sing. And I think that's the thing that like gets us all, nervous and insecure or whatever, because we're just really not sure what's going to come out until after we, have made the sound. And by then it's really too late. So one of the first things that you need to do when you start training your voice is to start learning how to feel your voice instead of listening to it. So much of early voice lessons are learning how to become aware of what you're doing when you sing. In fact, a really good portion of your singing is learning to make this very natural, very almost, unconscious activity, make the what, why, and how all conscious and intentional. So I just want to do a really quick kind of, interesting little activity with you. If you'll take a few minutes, I want you to just describe your hands. So, you could do this with anything for sure, but if I was describing my hands, I would say, my hands are large, actually. My husband likes to call them Gronkowski hands, which is just awesome. And they're kind of getting wrinkly. I can usually see my veins, especially in the summertime. They're really, really prominent. My fingers are long. My fingernails need some shaping. So you can see I'm making a lot of these sort of external judgments about the way my hands look. And that's what we tend to do when we are looking at or listening to our voices. We start to say, well, I don't sound good, or I can't hit that note, or especially if people are sick, oh, I don't sound good today because I'm sick, and things like that. And so we want to learn to start superseding that sort of third person judgment about about the singing. And so just like all of my descriptions of my hands were sort of external descriptions about the way I see my hands, we want to be careful not to have those external descriptions only of the way we sound, because those are not accurate for us. We perceive our voices through bone conduction and our internal resonance and things like that. That gives us a very different sound than what others hear. You know, if you put yourself on a recording, you don't sound anything like what you hear in your head, and you're like, why do people even say that I can sing, right? It's really kind of nerve-wracking. So what I want you to do now, going back to the hands for a second, is I want you to describe how your hands feel. Here they came. I told you the kids were going to come in. Describe how your hands feel. And my hands don't feel large. They just are large. And if I start thinking about the way they feel, maybe close your eyes and start to think, you know, what do my hands feel like? Well, my hands actually feel quite cold right now. I can feel sort of a pressure in the palm of my hand. I feel my fingertips feel a little heavy. And these are different kinds of sensations, right? They are, they're not as tangible as saying my hands are large, or, you know, I can see my veins. These are sensations that don't always make sense when we try to put them into words. So that's, again, one of the challenges that we have when we are singers. Oh, I have a comment here. Let's see. I've always wondered how great impressionists, hey Ken, create such a cute sounds when it must sound so different in their heads. Yes, that is a great question. Leave it to Ken. You always have the best impressions. Would you like to be on Facebook Live? Okay, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
That's my little big 10-year-old who wants some attention. Okay, anyway, just real quick here to end this. I want you to try not listening to your voice the next time that you sing, but feeling your voice. Do you feel resonances? That's kind of what you're going to be paying attention to, not the producer of the sound, which is in the throat. That's way, way, way too limited and really beyond the scope of this very short video. I want you to start paying attention to your resonances though. Do your resonances feel nasal? Do they feel like they're in your chest? Do they feel back in the back of your throat? Can you feel things in your head? So some of these places, again, they don't always make sense. You know, kind of like I was saying, well, I feel pressure in my fingertips. It's not a description that you would ever feel like would make sense, but then when somebody says it, you're like, oh yeah, I think I can relate to that, right? And so that's really what we do when we learn to communicate about our voices. So that's your tip for today. The very first thing you need to do is stop listening to yourself sing and start feeling the way that you sing, and that's going to bring some consistency into it as well. All right, thanks so much for joining me. If you are interested in Expand Your Range by an Octave, a 3-day email course that's totally free, if you'll just click the Learn More button on my Facebook page, it will take you to a landing page where you can sign up for that, and I would be absolutely thrilled to see you there. Thanks so much. See ya.